Hello students. In the last class, as I had already told you all, so that class was regarding a distribution where only a particular specific data was given. Now what does that mean? That means now you'll understand it better when you do the question. Now here what they have specified is they are asking you calculate the mean of the following distribution. This is the question, but they have not said how many they have not specified the exact data. They have given the range 10 to 25. So 10 to 25, suppose max 10 to 25 marks was scored by 2 students. 25 to 40 marks was scored by 3 students. 40 to 55 marks was scored by 7 students. So on and so forth. Are you understanding? 55 to 70 marks was scored by 6 students. We don't exactly know how much marks did 6 students score. 55 to 70 means it may be 56, 57, it may be any, isn't it? So it may be any marks, it may be, but it has to be within this range. So what they are doing is they have given a range of values here, a range, and that range is called class interval. They have given an interval 10 to 25, 25 to 40. Now what you'll do? Now what we'll do in this case is we got to have a raw data for it. Raw data means there has to be a collective term which can be expressed instead of this class interval. So instead of this class interval, we have to have a remedy so that we can express it as a single entity. Okay, so expressing it as a single entity is fairly simple. We introduce the concept of class mark. Okay, now class mark is the collective single entity which will represent the interval. Okay, now how do you calculate the class mark? Class mark is equal to upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2, or you can say lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. It doesn't matter, it's the same. So you can see for this case, for first class interval 10, 25. So you'll add 10 plus 25 divided by 2. So this will give you 35 by 2, and 35 by 2 is 17.5. So 17.5 is the class mark. Are you understanding? Next, 25 to 40. So 25 plus 40 divided by 2. So this will be 65 by 2. So 65 by 2 is 32.5. So 32.5 is the class mark. You want to check one more? Let's check one more. Let's check this one then. 55, 70. 55 plus 70 by 2. So this will be 125 by 2. This will be 62.5. You can see 62.5. 40 plus 55 by 2. So 95 by 2, 47. So this is how you calculate the class mark. So this class mark is the collective entity which is expressing the class interval. So instead of the class interval, you are taking the average of the class interval in general, which is giving you the class mark, and that is represented as xi. Okay, so frequency we already have. So fi we already have, xi also we have. So fi xi will be 2 into 17.5 is 35, 3 into 32.5 is 97.5, 7 into 47.5 is 332.5. Obviously you are going to have a tedious sort of calculation when you are multiplying this, but you have to sort it out. That's the way it goes. 6 into 62.5, 375, 6 into 77.5. So this you can multiply. It's simple multiplication. After multiplication, obviously what we know, mean or average x bar, we are represented as x bar, is equal to summation over fi xi divided by summation over f. So summation over fi xi, after adding all these terms, we get we have already added it up, so 1860, and after adding this 3, 5, 12, 18, 24, 30, obviously it has to be 30, isn't it? It has to be 30. After all, it is a data of 30 students. Okay, so they will give you in the questions, or even if they have not given, you can just sum it up. It's very simple. Divided by 30, so it will give you 362. So 62 is the mean of this distribution. So are you understanding? So basically what we are doing here is, instead of giving you a single entity that is xi that we did in the previous lecture, they are giving you a range, a class interval where they are telling you to calculate the mean. So basically this represents the fact that out of these 30 students, the average marks scored was 62. Okay, maybe some people they scored 100 also, and some people they scored 10 also, but on an average the max scored was 62. So what we are doing, class interval is being expressed in terms of class marks. How do we do this? We take the average of the class interval in this way, upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2. So 10 plus 25 divided by 17.5, so on and so forth. So after that you get it. So this will be your x, f into x, fi into xi. You just multiply, and summation over fi xi divided by summation over f will give you your result. Okay, hope this is clear. Now one thing you must be wondering, that this multiplication and all this is going to be very tedious, and it will take a lot of time, to do. So there are other simpler ways of doing it. So there are other ways of calculating the mean, but this is the direct method, as I have already specified, direct method of calculating the mean. In the next lecture, so so as I have already said, so this multiplication is going to be a bit tedious. So in the next class we'll discuss about the other method of calculating the mean. So that will be a more simple one. We have two more methods of determining the mean. So see you there in the next class. Thank you.